Hi everyone, this is Owen from Storyboard That, and this video is going to be how to get signed into Storyboard That, add your students, and start creating. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is log in. So I'm just on the login page right here, which is storyboardthat.com. And I'm just going to click sign in up here to sign into my account. You're going to notice on the sign in page, we have a number of different sign in options. Depending on what single sign-on or SSO your school uses. So if you're a school that uses Google for everything, Google Classroom, you're going to want to sign in with Google. But if you have a Clever account with your school, you're going to want to use Clever. Same thing with Microsoft and ClassLink. It just depends on what your school uses. If you ever have any question about what rostering method your school uses, you can always reach out to us and we're able to tell. Right now, I'm just going to sign in with email though. And now I'm on my teacher dashboard. You're going to want to make sure that you're not getting any sort of messages about paying $1 for a month or trying a free trial. If your school has a paid account, you shouldn't be seeing any of those errors. But once I'm signed in, I do want to add my students and classes as the first step. Now, I like to do that by going to my classes page here and just importing with Google if you use Google Classroom, or Clever if you use Clever Library. If you use Clever Sync or ClassLink at your school, these will already be imported in your classes page, and you should see all the classes that you teach and all the students you teach as well. If you use Canvas or Schoology, the process is a little bit different, and I recommend you watch our help videos on that to make sure that you're doing all of the steps correctly. But I can see that once all of my students are in, we are ready to create. So now that we're ready to create, the easiest way to get our students creating storyboards is to create an assignment for them. And how I do that is I go over to the left-hand menu over here, and you'll see this assignments tab right here. And you can actually just add it straight from the tab by hitting this add button. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And that'll bring me to our assignment creating wizard, our 5-step wizard, which is right here. So you're going to want to name the assignment whatever you are doing that day. I'll just name it something generic right now, like classwork 929. You can also allow students to collaborate on this assignment if you want more than one student to work on the storyboard at the same time. And make sure to look at our help page on real-time collaboration for some more help on that. But I'll just allow students to collaborate on it today. And next up, you're going to want to add your instructions. We have some pre-made instructions right here, but you can change that as you see fit. I'll actually just keep these pre-made instructions right now, though, for the sake of example. All right, next up is adding the template. This is a super important part of creating an assignment. I'm going to skip it for right now, and I'll come right back to it. And then which classes do you want to assign it to? Again, this is going to be all the classes that you just imported. I'll give it to everyone for today. And now I'm done. Let's go ahead and view this assignment and look at some of the aspects of an assignment in a little bit more detail. So I just mentioned the template. This is really important. So this is going to be the starting point for your students. What do you want your students' storyboards to actually look like? And we can actually create a new template super quickly. Let's go ahead and take a look at how easy that is. So I'm going to go to create a new template. It's going to pull us into the storyboard creator. Give your template a name, something easy so you can find it later if you need to. And then let's go ahead and change the layout. Right now I'm in our standard layout, which is just 3 cells. It's a little bit boring for me. I want my students to be creating something a little bit different today. Perhaps we're doing a timeline in class today, so I want to give them the timeline layout. And maybe I want 4 events in that timeline. So let's change each year here. We'll do 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022. All right. Looks good. Actually, I want a description box on these as well. All right. So now I've got my template. Now each student is going to be responsible for filling in this timeline with art and descriptions. All I have to do is save and exit. And then when I go back to the assignment on my assignment dashboard here, remember this was classwork 929, we can see that all students are going to have this template to start. So when students, if we view it as a student here, start the assignment, they'll see, oh, okay, this is what I'm filling out today. Here are my instructions. Perfect. If you wanted to go a step further, you could add an example as well, which is just a view-only storyboard. Students can see it, but they can't edit it. And you can even add a rubric with our rubric creator. But this is how you assign an assignment to class. It makes it really easy to organize your storyboards, and it's the best way to get students to start creating. Notice how you can push this assignment to Google Classroom if you want to grade in the Google Classroom grader, and you can put it on Canvas if you want to grade with the Canvas speed grader as well. Be sure to check out our other videos on how you can send those assignments to each one of these learning management systems. But that's how you create an assignment really quickly. Let's take a look at the creator next to start creating. So now that we've imported our classes and students and we've made an assignment, students are ready to create in the Storyboard Creator. Now I'm going to give a brief overview of what the creator actually looks like. So I'm going to create a storyboard here. It looks the same whether you're a teacher making a storyboard or a student making a storyboard. All right. Now, if students have a template for an assignment, they'll automatically be brought into that template. But if they're just creating a storyboard from scratch, you can choose from a number of different layouts in the storyboard layout option right here. So take a look at all these different layouts that we have. It's super easy to add or delete cells, add titles or descriptions if you want your students to do a little bit of typing as well. And there are a ton of different layouts that you can explore with. So I'll just do a spider map layout for right now. It is my favorite, and we'll hit OK. You can toggle between looking at the whole storyboard at once or just one cell at a time using this toggle button right here. Super easy. And all of our art is housed up in this art bar at the top. So scenes are our backgrounds, and please note how many subcategories of scenes that we have. We have a ton of different art that you can use to create your storyboard. So say we're doing a US history example, I can go to this US history scenes here, and we have a ton of different scenes that you can use. So we'll grab this one and just drag and drop it into the scene, and it'll autofill the size of the cell. No need to resize or anything. We can edit the scene if we want to change what it looks like. We can change the time of day, whether it's snowing or raining, whether the door is open or closed. But we can even change the color of the sky if we wanted to. Right now, I'll do daytime and clear sky. In addition to scenes, we do have characters as well. And similarly to the scenes, they are organized in a number of different subcategories. We have hundreds of different characters that you can use, adults, teens, kids. For right now, I will go to the 1600s to 1800s because it kind of fits with the US history that I'm doing right now. So we'll grab this guy and drag him into the scene. And this is going to be our character editor. You can really get into the details with what the head and expression are doing, or you can choose one of these preset poses if you want to just choose a ready-made pose. It makes it a little bit easier. You can change what angle they're facing, and you can change the colors of what they're wearing. You can randomize them if you'd like, or you can go step by step and change them as you wish. So I'll do that just because I like being nice and specific here, and that is looking pretty good. So we'll go ahead and update his pose, and now he's in the scene. He's a little bit too tall, so I'll shrink him down a little bit, but now he's looking pretty good. We have a ton of different art that you can use in the scene. We have all sorts of items, animals, speech bubbles, and shapes that you can use, and you can always search in the search bar up here if you're looking for something specific, or even upload your own image if you have an image on your computer that you want to import as a file. You can type whatever you need to in the title and description. It's a really good way to get students writing, and you can edit that as well. The size and shape of the font is fully editable. Some helpful tricks that I get questions on a lot is if you want to copy a character from one cell to another, you do not have to remake him every time. You can just click this copy button right here in this edit menu right here, and then drag them right over to the other cell. And then you can see when we go back to the second cell here, that character is going to be there again. So it's easy to copy a character. But those are the high-level basics of the creator. It's super fun to explore, and I encourage you to explore all the different things that you can do and all the different art that we have. When you're done with the storyboard, there's a number of different options as well. So you can download it as a number of different files, including an animated GIF, which is super fun. And you can also add audio to a storyboard by going to View All Options and record audio as well. So there's a number of different multimedia avenues you can take with a storyboard. But that's sort of the basics of the creator here. Once we're done with creating, the next thing I'm going to show you is all of the different pre-made resources that we have in Storyboard That. All right, so we've kind of gone over how you can make a storyboard from scratch and how you can make an assignment from scratch, but we do have a number of pre-made resources that'll save you all that time. To take a look at these resources, I'm just going to click on our menu in the top left here. And this last section here, lesson plans, going to go ahead and click on that. And that's going to bring you to our teacher resources page. If we scroll down just a little bit, you'll see our featured resources, and then underneath there are lesson plans and activities. So if we go to social studies here, it's organized by subject. You're going to see all the different topics that we have lesson plans for. So if you were teaching US history, for example, the Revolutionary War, you can click in here. And this will be all of our different Revolutionary War activities that we have for you to use. So if you were teaching Patriots versus Loyalists, we have something pre-made for that. This is looking really good. So all you have to do is copy this activity by hovering over it and copying it. And you'll see that's going to create an assignment comparing Patriots and Loyalists in my assignment dashboard. You just have to choose which classes you want to assign it to. What's nice about these is that everything is customizable as well. So if you wanted to edit these instructions to be more applicable to your students, you can do that super easily with this Edit Instructions button right here. And similarly, you can edit this template as well, just editing it right here. So maybe you wanted your students to have more cells or maybe fewer cells. You can change that as you see fit. We give you an example to show to your students as well. You can toggle whether you want your students to actually see this or not with this button right here. And we even give you a rubric that you can grade with. So it's a real time saver, and we have thousands of different lesson plans that you can use in your classroom. And then just like any assignment, you can share this to Google Classroom and you can share it to Canvas as well. It's super easy to do that. Again, just take a look at our help documents for that. So like I said, there's thousands of different lesson plans across all sorts of subjects. If you teach English as a new language, we have these world languages activities, ENL activities. So there's thousands of different activities for you to use. I encourage you to explore. But that is the real quick getting started with Storyboard That. Thank you so much for watching. And you can always reach out to us with any additional questions that you have. And I hope you have a ton of fun creating.